A man has two choices when he's in a relationship with a strong, loyal, emotionally invested woman: either rise to the occasion and be everything she needs, or step aside and stop blocking the view for the man who actually can. It's that simple. You don't get to half love her, breadcrumb her with attention, or keep her on a leash while you figure yourself out. She's not a placeholder. She's not a test run. She's a woman with a heart that loves deeply and a soul that deserves stability. If you're going to love her, really love her. Show up. Lead with consistency, not confusion. Be intentional, not impulsive. Speak life into her, no doubt. Handle her with care, not control. Because a woman like her doesn't just want romance, she needs reliability, presence, protection, and peace. And if you can't be that, then don't waste her time. Sit down and let the real one step up. Because someone else will. Someone who recognizes her worth without needing to be reminded. Someone who sees her strength and doesn't feel intimidated by it but is inspired to match it. She deserves someone who doesn't hesitate when it comes to loving her right. If that's not you, move out of the way. It's not about perfection. It's about effort, every day. Communicate, talk about everything, the good and the bad. Build trust. Be honest, even when it's uncomfortable. Be faithful, not just in action, but in thought and intention. Show up for each other. Be present. Make time not just when it's convenient, but when it's needed. Leave the post where it belongs, especially the parts that no longer serve the present. Yes, even the exes. Understand that arguments will happen. It doesn't mean it's broken, it means you're human. You won't always be happy, and that's okay. Don't expect the other to change, grow together instead. Appreciate the flaws. Celebrate the small things. Become best friends. Laugh. Cry. Fight fair. Forgive faster. And most of all, love each other, not just when it's easy, but unconditionally. That's how you keep a relationship. The unbothered woman is a feared woman. The unbothered woman walks through life with an air of quiet confidence that turns heads and silences whispers. She is not indifferent, she feels deeply, loves fiercely, and lives authentically. But she no longer allows the noise of the world to disturb the rhythm of her soul. Her energy is sacred, and she spends it with intention, knowing her worth isn't tied to the opinions of others. She is unbothered, not because she doesn't care, but because she's learned to prioritize peace over chaos. The petty comments, the unsolicited advice, the judgments that once gnawed at her spirit now roll off her like water. She's built herself a fortress of self-love and clarity, and nothing frivolous can penetrate its walls. Her power lies in her ability to choose where she places her attention. And it's never on things that dim her light. This woman knows that her time is finite and her energy priceless. She doesn't chase validation or approval because she has found everything she needs within herself. When she walks away, it's not in anger or bitterness, it's with a quiet understanding that not everything is meant for her. She leaves behind what doesn't align and takes with her the lessons, knowing each step forward is a step toward her purpose. The unbothered woman is not invincible, she has been tested by life. She has faced storms that threatened to break her and endured moments that could have hardened her heart. But instead of becoming bitter, she became better. She grew roots so deep in her truth that even the harshest winds couldn't uproot her. Her unbothered nature is not a mask or a performance, it's the result of years of inner work, healing, and choosing herself. She's a force, not because she's loud or confrontational, but because her very presence radiates self-assurance. Her silence speaks volumes. Her laughter is genuine, and her peace is her greatest power. To be unbothered is not to be untouched by life's struggles, it is to rise above them with grace. The unbothered woman knows that her energy is her superpower, and she wields it wisely. Unapologetically, and with unwavering confidence. Here's how it happens. At first, they'll seem to admire everything about you. You'll feel a deep, soulful connection. It's intoxicating, like you've met the person who truly sees you. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, they'll rage over something small. Something so insignificant you'll feel shocked, confused, and even question yourself, what just happened? Because of your connection, you'll want to fix it. You'll try to talk it out, resolve things, and get back to good ground. But here's the truth, they don't want to understand or resolve anything. They want control. If they're jealous, you'll make small adjustments at first: what you wear, who you talk to, maybe even how you interact in business relationships to make them more comfortable. But over time, those small adjustments grow. You'll find yourself cutting off meaningful relationships, second-guessing how you dress, and isolating yourself. Why? Because their insecurity, jealousy, and need for control demands it. The rages will keep coming. At first, they'll apologize and return to the person you fell in love with. You'll believe they're capable of change. But the space between those apologies will get smaller. Eventually, it disappears. What's left? Bad moods, tantrums, and insults. And here's the hardest truth: you'll never see the person you originally fell in love with again unless they want something from you. If your partner rages, this is a severe red flag. People who behave like this are skilled at breaking you down, making you question yourself, and taking away your independence. They want you under their control because that's how small they feel inside. Don't ignore this. Don't explain it away. She was your safe place, the one person who saw your scars and didn't flinch. Who loved you through every storm, even when it meant standing in the wreckage with bare feet and an open heart. She carried your pain like it was her own, held you together when you were falling apart, and built a home inside herself just to make room for your chaos. You didn't ask how much it cost her. You never noticed how much of herself she gave up to keep you steady. Instead, you brought the war to her doorstep: anger. Without reason, silence that cut deeper than words, apologies that came too late or never came at all. You broke things she tried so hard to protect. You made her doubt the very love she was so sure of. What was once soft became sharp. What was once safe became a battlefield. And still, she tried to fix what you kept breaking. But there comes a moment when even the strongest heart has had enough. She reached her limit, not with rage, but with quiet clarity. She stopped trying to salvage what only you could repair. She stopped shrinking to fit the version of love you offered. Now, she's walking away, not because she doesn't care, but because she finally cares about herself more. Peace is her new language. It's not loud or dramatic. It's in the steady silence of healing, the freedom of no longer begging to be seen, the strength of letting go. She's rebuilding what you burned stronger, softer, more hers than it's ever been. And in this new world she's creating, this calm after the storm, you are not welcome. You were the war. She is the survivor. And her peace will never again be traded for your chaos. What you are not changing, you are choosing. Sometimes, we stay in places that hurt us because leaving feels even harder. We tell ourselves that things might get better, that maybe if we just wait, life will somehow fix itself. But the truth is, every time we choose to stay the same, we are also choosing the pain, the emptiness, and the sadness that comes with it. We hold on to things that are breaking us. We stay in relationships where love has faded, jobs that drain the life out of us, and routines that no longer make us happy. We tell ourselves it is just a phase, that tomorrow will be different. But how many tomorrows have come and gone while we stay stuck, wishing for a change that we are too afraid to make? It is scary to face the unknown. It is terrifying to let go of the familiar, even when the familiar is what is hurting us. We convince ourselves that staying is easier, that the pain we know is better than the uncertainty we fear. But deep down, we know the truth. What we are not changing, we are choosing. Every day we do not take a step forward, we are choosing to stay where we are. And it is a lonely place to be, stuck in the middle of wanting more and being too afraid to reach for it. You see other people moving on, finding happiness, and chasing dreams, and you wonder why you cannot do the same. You wonder what is wrong with you, why you cannot let go of the things that weigh you down. You start to believe that maybe this is all you deserve, that maybe this sadness is your forever. But it is not. You have a choice, even if it feels impossible to make. You can choose to take one small step, even if it is just a tiny one. You can choose to believe that you are worth more than the pain you are carrying. You can choose to let go of the things that are holding you back, even if it feels like they are all you have. It will not be easy, and it will not happen overnight. But every step counts, and every choice to change is a choice to fight for your happiness. The truth about growing. Here's a key truth to remember on your journey to becoming your best self: there is no final version of you. You will never reach a point where you've arrived at your ultimate self, because growth is not about reaching a destination. Instead, it's about becoming the best version of yourself at catch moment, embracing the process of constant change and self-discovery. At first, this might seem confusing or overwhelming. We're often led to believe there's a perfect version of ourselves that we must strive to reach, but growth isn't a straight line. It's full of highs and lows, moments of clarity, and moments of doubt. It often looks like 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and that's perfectly normal. Those setbacks are not failures, they're part of the process, proof that you're trying, learning, and evolving. Instead of trying to change everything at once, start small. Focus on manageable steps you can take day by day. Remember, meaningful change comes from the small, consistent actions you take, not from overnight transformation. Be patient with yourself. Know that becoming your best self isn't about achieving perfection, but about appreciating unchanged step of the journey. So, allow yourself to grow at your own pace. Celebrate the steps forward, and don't be afraid of the steps back. Every experience, whether in size like progress or a setback, is part of your path. Remember, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, that's still progress. You're moving forward, learning, and becoming more aligned with who you truly are. Embrace the journey, and let it be enough. You for how you react to their toxic behavior, then have the audacity to claim, "We both made mistakes." But let's be clear, mistakes are accidental, while their cruelty is calculated. They push you to the edge with lies, manipulation, and neglect, then act shocked when you finally break. Suddenly, your pain is proof of your instability, while their abuse is rewritten as mere misunderstandings. They rewrite the script so masterfully that even you start to doubt your own memories. They'll claim they tried their best, yet their best was a cycle of hot and cold treatment, broken promises, and emotional withdrawal. They'll say, it takes 2 to fail, as if your desperate attempts to fix things were equal to their sabotage. They'll weaponize your love, your vulnerability, even your forgiveness, twisting it all into evidence that you were the problem. And when you call out their behavior, that's just more proof of your so-called toxicity. She's not the same anymore. She didn't like where she was, and she wanted better for herself. So, she got clear on who she wanted to be and created a plan that grounded her dreams into reality. Then, she got to work. She worked on the way she spoke to herself, the way she thought, and the way she moved. She learned to recognize which thoughts aligned with her past self and which aligned who she was becoming. She was no longer willing to entertain the limitations that had been imposed on her. She wanted more for herself, and she believed that more was available. She led herself in a way that aligned with where she was going, not in a way that kept her where she had been. She broke the cycle because she committed to herself. And she finally learned that doing the work is loving yourself in the ways that you needed to be loved. Read this slowly. The universe responds to your frequency. It doesn't recognize your personal desires, wants or needs. It only understands the frequency in which you are vibrating at. For example, if you are vibrating in the frequency of fear, guilt or shame, you are going to attract things of a similar vibration. If you are vibrating in the frequency of love, joy, and abundance, you are going to attract things that support that frequency. It's kinda like tuning into a radio station. You have to be tuning into the music you want to listen to, just like you have to be tuned into the energy you want to manifest into your life. Change your mindset, it will change your life. A woman cannot be your peace if you're not providing the right environment for her to create that peace. Stop expecting peace from a woman when you are constantly giving her problems and challenges. If you're not providing a safe space for her, she cannot bring peace into your life. Peace is present where security is found. A woman cannot nurture and support you if she is constantly dealing with turmoil and instability. Your actions and behavior play a crucial role in creating a harmonious environment. Provide her with the security she needs, and you will see how much more she can offer. A woman cannot fully express her love and care if she feels threatened or undervalued. Make her feel cherished and respected, and she will naturally respond with warmth and affection. Your relationship will thrive in an atmosphere of mutual respect and security. A woman cannot be her true self if she is constantly on edge or worried about the next conflict. Create a calm and supportive environment, and she will feel free to be herself, enhancing the connection and peace between you. A woman cannot give you her best if she is constantly stressed and anxious. Show her that you are a dependable and trustworthy partner. Provide stability and consistency, and she will be able to offer you the peace and love you seek. A woman cannot build a strong, loving relationship if she feels unsupported and unappreciated. Acknowledge her efforts and contributions, and provide her with the emotional security she needs. In return, she will help foster a peaceful and loving home. A woman cannot bring joy and positivity into your life. Most women give men more than enough time to get their act together. They extend grace, they offer patience, and they hold on, often far longer than they should, because when a woman loves, she doesn't do it halfway. She believes in the potential of the man she's chosen. She sees the good in him, the parts of him even he refuses to nurture. She doesn't walk away the moment things get hard. She stays, she talks, she prays, she compromises, promises, she adjusts, and she fights for him, for the relationship, for the future she still believes they could build together. But what people don't understand is that her loyalty isn't rooted in weakness. It's not desperation. It's hope. Hope that he'll meet her halfway. Hope that he'll grow. Hope that all the energy, time, and love she's poured into him will eventually be returned, not just in words, but in action. Because women don't give up easily. Especially not on someone they believe in. They'll hold on until their hands bleed. But when that hope starts to die, when every conversation becomes a cycle, every promise turns into a disappointment, and every effort goes unnoticed, something inside her shifts. She stops begging. She stops explaining. She stops showing up in ways he never reciprocated. Not because she no longer cares, but because she finally realizes caring alone isn't enough. Love doesn't thrive where growth is refused. Relationships can't survive where one person is doing all the healing, all the fixing, all the carrying. And no matter how strong or loyal she is, she can't sit around for years hoping a man will one day become who she needed him to be yesterday. It's a slow heartbreak. A quiet kind of grief. Because when a woman decides to walk away, it's not sudden. It's after countless nights of feeling alone next to someone. It's after putting her own needs last for too long. It's after giving chance after chance until the disappointment becomes unbearable. She doesn't leave because she stopped loving him, she leaves because she finally started loving herself more. That's the truth people overlook. That women aren't cold when they walk away. They're exhausted. They're worn out from believing in someone who never rose to the occasion. They're tired of showing up for a man who couldn't even show up for himself. And when that realization hits, when she sees that she's been loving a version of him he never even tried to become, she lets go. So no, most women don't leave quickly. They hold on until they can't anymore. And when they finally do let go, it's not because they didn't care, it's because they cared too long for someone who never cared enough to change. The saddest goodbyes aren't marked by anger or indifference, they're marked by love that still lingers, by a connection you deeply cherish but know you can no longer sustain. It's the ache of wanting to hold on, to stay in that familiar space, even when every part of you knows it's time to let go. Letting go doesn't always mean that love or care disappears. Sometimes, it's an act of courage and compassion, a recognition that holding on too tightly may cause more harm than good for you, for them, or for the life you're both meant to lead. It's not about erasing the memories or denying the bond. It's about understanding that some chapters, no matter how beautiful, cannot last forever. These goodbyes are bittersweet because they hold dual truths, the joy of what was and the pain of what can no longer be. But in that pain lies an invitation to grow. It's a reminder that love is not just about proximity or permanence, it's about presence, about the way someone has shaped your life, even if their role changes or their path diverges from yours. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring the moments, the lessons, and the growth that come from the connection. It means carrying those memories forward as part of who you are while freeing both yourself and the other person to evolve in the ways life requires. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel the weight of that goodbye in your heart. But remember, every ending, no matter how painful, makes space for new beginnings. What you release with love will never truly leave you, it will transform, settle into your soul as strength, wisdom, and a deeper capacity for connection.